In this video, I wanted to go over the basics of how do you reverse an array inside of NVIDIA's GPUs using CUDA. I know that most of us are probably already familiar with how to reverse an array in a regular programming language like Python or C++, but how would we do this inside of a GPU? Now, the interesting thing with doing this in a CPU versus a GPU is that the GPU actually provides with a lot of different problems that you might face. The GPU is parallel, so you have to figure out a way to get the index in a parallel way. The second thing is what happens when this array is really large. Then you have to work with strides because of the way that you calculate the block size and the grid size. Now, suppose you've got a lot of data, maybe you want to use managed memory, but that is going to maybe make it slower because it has to go through the PCIe bus to go from the CPU to the GPUs. Essentially, a simple problem like this can have a lot of different variations on how you can solve it on the GPU. And today we're just going to look at the very simplest version of it, which is how do you just reverse an array? So let's get into it. So I've got n equals 10, which is the size of the array that we're going to use. And of course, the first thing that we do when we're creating a program that runs on the GPU is we're going to want to allocate memory on both the CPU and the GPU. H underscore, which again, H stands for host. First of all, I find it very weird that they called it H for host. I wish they called it like CPU instead of host or something. But anyway, host is just a CPU. This is the array on the CPU that we're going to define where the data exists. So that's what I'm doing right here. And what we want to do is take this source array and put that onto the GPU. And in order to do this, we're going to want to create a D underscore source array and a D underscore destination array. So the D underscore, which again, remember, stands for device or GPU. So you're creating these arrays here and you're making sure that CUDA mallocs the correct amount of bytes, which we've defined all the way up here. This is just n times the size of int. So this is just creating the memory on the GPU. CUDA memcopy, which we've got the definition for right here, takes in the destination, the source, size t, as well as the kind of copy that you want to do. So we're going to want to copy whatever was inside of H underscore source, essentially 0 through 9, right? And we're going to want to copy that information onto the GPU because we have to get this data on the GPU so that we can then reverse it. Essentially, we're just copying the source array onto the GPU, CUDA memcopy host to device. Inside the reverse array kernel, we're creating the blocks per thread and the threads per block. Blocks per thread, this is just one because again, the size of n here is 10. Because it's 10, we're already sending in 32 blocks. We don't need to worry about anything more advanced than this because there will automatically be more threads than there is data that we need to copy. Now, the next thing is we're passing in the source array, the D source array. This is the device source array that we've just copied all of that data into here. And the destination array is where we're going to actually have the reversed list, right? And we're going to need to pass in n as well. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that it's a global function, which again, it just means that you can call reverse array kernel from a function that is running on the CPU. That basically says the function can be called from the CPU, but it can run on the GPU. And we've got const int d source. So it's a const because we can't change this one. This is actually what we're going to want to change. Now, immediately we're going to see very familiar code that we always use, which is idx equals block idx times block dim.x plus thread idx. We know that there's only one block. So this is going to essentially not run. What we really just care about is the thread. And we know that the thread can be essentially between 0 and 31 because we're passing in 32 threads per block. So in the case that the ID is larger than or equal to 10, then we just return early because we don't care about that. The size of this is 10. Size of D source is also 10. So if we try to index something out of that, that's going to be incorrect. The last thing that we're going to want to do is right here. This is kind of the meat of the code, which is how you reverse an index on the GPU. So n is always equal to 10. So in the first case, where index is equal to 0, I shouldn't say in the first case because technically these threads can run in parallel. So it's not necessarily true that the first thread that's running is at ID index 0. So let's just say that it's actually index 1. What we're saying is take whatever's in index 1 and put it into the swap index, right? And what is swap index? index? Well, it's n, so 10 minus 1, so 9 minus 1, which is 8, which makes perfect sense because if we have the index at 1, that is the first element, and we want to swap that with index 8 because an array of 10 elements is going to go between 0 and 9. So if we're swapping the first index, then we actually want to swap that with index 8. So index 8 on the destination array is going to equal whatever's index 1 on the source array. And yeah, if you kind of play this logic out, you'll notice that it just essentially reverses the array. And of course, the last thing that we're going to want to do is wait for the GPU to finish. This is one of those things where if you don't do this, you might just get incorrect data. And whatever was in the GPU's destination array, copy that into the H destination array, which is the host destination or the CPU's destination. So the number of bytes, we're doing a CUDA memcopy device to host. And finally, we can print the results of the original array as well as the destination array. And of course, we can free the data. This is how that program works, and of course if you run the program you will get the original array is between 0 and 9 and the reversed array is 98765432110. So that is how you simply reverse an array inside of a GPU using CUDA. There are a lot of extensions to this that we could talk about later, but I just felt that I should go over like the simplest version of this problem so that we can dive into more complex versions later. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about in this video. If you've made it this far, hit the like button and consider subscribing for more random C++, CUDA, GPU deep dives just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.